In the desolate stretch of Maine's coast, where the Atlantic's roar was a constant companion, stood the Shipwreck Point Lighthouse. Its keeper, Thomas Grayson, had devoted decades of his life to its light. The recent loss of his wife, Mary, left him alone in the echoing halls of the lighthouse, where shadows seemed to deepen with his grief. As the days turned into nights, an unsettling presence began to creep into Thomas's solitude. It started subtly, whispers in the wind, the faint scent of Mary's lavender perfume lingering in the air. Dismissing it as imagination, Thomas continued his nightly routine, keeping the light burning against the dark sea. One particularly foggy night, as the lantern's glow cut through the mist, Thomas saw her. Mary's ghostly figure hovered near the cliffs, her form shimmering in the fog's embrace. His heart raced, a mix of longing and fear. She appeared to be guiding the ship, her hand gesturing with an urgency that chilled him. Night after night, Mary returned, her presence more insistent. She seemed to whisper secrets carried away by the wind, her gestures growing frantic. Thomas watched, unease gnawing at him. Was she trying to tell him something? Warn him of danger? As the weeks passed, the atmosphere grew tense. The lighthouse felt alive with unseen eyes, shadows shifting in the corners of his vision. Thomas began to dread the night, yet was drawn to the lantern room, compelled by a force he couldn't name. Then came the storm, the fiercest in years. The wind howled with a fury that rattled the lighthouse to its core. Thomas, peering through the rain-streaked glass, saw Mary again. This time, her face was a mask of terror. She gestured wildly, pointing toward the cliffs. Racing outside, Thomas battled the elements, Mary's form barely visible in the tempest. She hovered at the cliff's edge, her finger pointing to a spot obscured by darkness. Heart pounding, Thomas edged closer, his lantern swaying in the gale. As he neared the edge, the ground gave way beneath him. He fell back just in time, the lantern slipping from his grasp and shattering on the rocks below. The cliff face had begun to crumble, threatening to take the lighthouse with it. Desperation seized him. What if Mary was trying to save him, not just the lighthouse? With all the strength he could muster, he scrambled back inside and sounded the alarm, the bell's toll piercing the storm's fury. The villagers arrived, drawn by the urgent call, and together they fought the storm, shoring up the land with whatever they could find. As dawn broke, the storm subsided, leaving the lighthouse standing defiantly against the battered cliffs. Exhausted, Thomas returned to the lantern room, expecting to see Mary one last time. Instead, he found something chilling. Scrawled in the condensation on the glass was a single word: run. Realization struck him like a bolt. Mary hadn't been warning him about the cliffs, she was warning him to flee. The lighthouse was cursed, its light a beacon not just for ships, but for something darker that dwelled within its walls. As he stood there, the shadows seemed to gather, whispering secrets of the past. Mary had tried to protect him, to guide him away from the true danger, the malevolent presence that had claimed her and now sought to claim him. With the first light of dawn, Thomas left the lighthouse behind, the whispers fading as he stepped away. The villagers watched him go, their faces etched with relief and understanding. They had always known the truth, whispered in hushed tones, a truth that Mary, with her final act of love, had revealed to him. The lighthouse stood silent, its light extinguished, a relic of a haunting that would never end.